Through van life, Trent has created something truly original. He roams across North America in a fully converted mobile setup, seeking out remote, visually stunning campsites where he settles in to play video games surrounded by nature. It's a strange pairing that somehow feels completely natural, and his videos carry a relaxed, visually rich vibe, often sweetened by the presence of his puppy. But this particular trip carried a distinctly different energy. Trent had aimed for Phantom Canyon Road in the Colorado mountains, a place whose haunting reputation stretches back well over a century, carrying a name the locals gave it for a very specific reason.
Hi everyone, my name is Trent and I live and travel out of my van all across North America, and along my travels I often stumble upon creepy, abandoned, or even haunted places. And today I am traveling through the mountains of Colorado, specifically on a road called Phantom Canyon Road. This is a road that was once a railroad system in the 1800s that transported passengers and gold from Canyon City to Victor, Colorado. And while that general synopsis may not sound very spooky to you, there is a reason why the locals call this road Phantom Canyon Road. And today I'm going to explore some of those stories while I camp in this supposed haunted forest alone.
Once he'd located a spot to settle in, night parked deep within the canyon, the van facing a quietly running creek while the dirt road stretched into silence in both directions. It was a perfectly decent campsite, provided you could ignore the oppressive weight of the place's dark history, which began pressing in from all sides the moment darkness descended.
Okay, I think this is a good campsite for the night. We're right in the middle of this canyon here, and we've got a nice, beautiful, flowing creek right in front of us. However, we are right off the dirt road, but that doesn't bother me too much. I mean, the dirt road is the whole reason why we're here anyway. But before we jump into the spooky ghost stories for the night, I'm gonna hop in the van, set up Starlink, make a quick bite to eat, and then we'll come out, do some adventuring, and see if we witness anything while camping here or wandering on these roads. Millie, you ready for dinner? Yeah? All right, let's go, come on.
Before tackling anything else, he first organized the van, got the Starlink connection up and running smoothly, and prepared himself a warm meal.
Peruvian chicken rice bowl looks so delicious, and it was made in less than 15 minutes right here in the comfort of my own van. Okay, now for the best part. Let's give this a taste test. Dang, that looks good.
Once he'd finished his meal, he set out for a hike along the dusty road. It only took a few short minutes before the trail threw something his way that completely caught him off guard.
But that's my own doing. I don't know. I feel like if there were any place that I would... The freak was that? I swear, oh, it's bats. Of course there's bats in here, it's a freaking cave, duh.
Confused by the eerie acoustics of the tunnel, he couldn't decide whether the stone walls were playing tricks on the sound or if something genuinely out there had produced it. His camera might have captured the noise. He wasn't entirely convinced of that either. So he stopped dead in his tracks, holding his breath and listening intently for any further sign of what might be lurking.
And I just wonder if there's any correlation there. You know, I don't know if it's my mind playing tricks on me or not.
After retracing his steps back to the van, a sudden, heavy thud struck the exterior, hard enough to send a jolt straight through the vehicle's frame. He immediately killed every light, peered out through the windows into the blackness, and found absolutely nothing out there.
Okay. I hope the camera picked it up, but I just heard a thud outside. I just turned on my light outside my sliding door. I don't see anything out the windows. It sounded like something hit my van. I'm like shaking right now. Hello?
After thoroughly scanning the area around his van, his eyes landed on a small shovel that had likely been propped against the tire and simply toppled over. It was a straightforward, rational explanation, almost certainly the right one. Yet even with that mundane answer staring him in the face, the unshakable feeling refused to leave. The distinct, primal sense that something still lingered just beyond the reach of his lights, watching him in silence. Reason and raw instinct don't always see eye to eye, and deep in a Colorado canyon on Phantom Canyon Road in the dead of night, instinct tends to speak louder than logic ever can. The man behind Monotone Adventures hails from western Pennsylvania, spending nearly all his free time cycling and casting a line along the quiet back roads of Maryland. He originally launched his channel simply to share the fleeting moments he documented during those rides. But this particular recording was different. It lodged itself deep in his memory, and he ultimately posted it with a single purpose: to warn people that unsettling events like this genuinely occur. It was July of 2015, and he found himself coasting along a secluded, tree-canopied road, the kind of isolated stretch where you might travel for miles without spotting another human being. Suddenly, something caught his eye on the roadside: a lone woman. Initially, he cycled right past, but immediately a gnawing unease settled in his gut. Something felt profoundly off, convincing him she wasn't simply lost or exhausted. She was in real distress. Trusting that intuition, he swung his bike around, and from that exact instant, the entire sequence of unsettling events began to spill forward.
So this girl, I didn't know. She looked like she was not okay. I'm sure she is okay. You good? What's going on?
I'm really afraid of my boyfriend. He's kicking things and threatening to burn my back.
Do you want me to take you somewhere? Alright. Is he driving? Where's the car? Alright, come on. Okay. Where do you live?
I live in Tennessee.
Tennessee. Alright, I'll take you into town.
Yeah, I just need a towel or something.
Alright, here, put this on.
You have your wallet with you?
No, it's in my bag. My family lives in DC, so they're only 2 hours away. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. Here. Can you put this on? I'll take you into town.
I'm just gonna turn it off.
Or I'll hold that. Give her your jacket.
Huh?
Give her your jacket. She doesn't recognize it.
Well, we're not going that way.
We will.
Put that on.
He's walking on the platform.
I know, he was trying to call me to get me to go back, and when I said I was too scared, he was like, I'm just gonna burn your fucking bag.
It's fine. Put that on. Is it big enough? Alright, go ahead.
When he finally reached her trembling figure, she was crying so hard she could barely choke the words out. Between broken gasps, she explained that she had just fled from her boyfriend, a man whose rage had boiled over into brutal violence, a man who had threatened to hurt her in ways she couldn't even bring herself to speak aloud. He knew instantly that abandoning her there was simply not an option, not stranded in the remote, shadowy woods with the terrifying possibility that her abuser might still be lurking nearby, still hunting for her. Without a moment's hesitation, he handed her his helmet and promised to take her straight to the nearest town, a place of safety where she could finally draw a steady breath and begin the long process of reclaiming her life, searching for some kind of route back to a world that felt like home.
Yeah.
Put your hand down around my waist. Around my waist.
Sorry.
Have you been on a bike before?
No.
No, okay. I won't say it. Let's get back a tad. Is there foot pegs back there? See the foot pegs?
Yeah.
Put your feet right on there. Go back more. Can you put her feet on the bike? Good. Alright, let's keep it going. Love that way. Yeah. Close the shield if you want.
You work by your parents?
They're in England.
In DC? That's only about...
No, they're in England.
Oh,
My
oh.
grandparents are in DC.
You want to call them? So we can have them meet us in Emmitsburg or something.
Or the... Well, they can come...
Or
I thought so. We just go to Waynesboro.
Yeah, or Emmitsburg's closer for them. Emmitsburg's around Route 15.
Yeah.
That takes you out from DC.
After that day, I tried to uncover more of what happened, whether they ever stayed connected, whether her violent boyfriend ultimately tracked her down. But I couldn't find any solid confirmation. No follow-up, no definitive answers, just silence. What remains undeniable is this: that biker almost certainly saved her life. Stranded deep in the isolated woods with a dangerous man actively hunting her, it's terrifying to imagine how else that afternoon could have unfolded, and none of those possible outcomes bear thinking about. I sincerely hope the creator comes across this narrative one day. Maybe he'll finally drop an update in the comments, and we'll learn the true ending of her story. Honestly, this stands as a powerful reminder that occasionally, simply stopping for a stranger really can reshape everything. Yet these scenarios are rarely straightforward. There are those who exploit such vulnerable moments to lay cunning traps. So stay guarded, keep your awareness sharp, but never extinguish that inner voice that instinctively senses when someone is genuinely, desperately crying out for help. The YouTube channel run by Joe Higgins revolves around the outdoors, capturing hunting trips, wilderness time, quiet days in the field, and the unexpected moments that often come with them. His videos carry a steady undercurrent of self-reliance and a deep reverence for the land, reflecting a mindset forged through years spent alone in the wild. On November 12, 2022, however, a jarring reminder hit him. Owning a remote property brings an unpredictability that no amount of preparation can fully anticipate. That reality had actually taken root 6 years prior, when he purchased the place, renovated it entirely, and then enjoyed 3 solid years of uninterrupted peace. No problems, no surprises, just the tranquil life he had carved out for himself in that isolated setting. But eventually that long calm was shattered.
Bought this property about 6 years ago, did a ton of work to the place, completely cleaned it up, went through, graveled the driveway, just a full-on flip-out repair of the whole entire place. For the first 3 years, everything went smooth. We had absolutely zero problems. Started getting comfortable down there, leaving tools in the shed, no problem. So we had everything we needed down there if we had to make repairs. Then we started noticing some vehicles pulling in the driveway. We didn't have a gate up at that time, so there was 2 or 3 different vehicles that we noticed pulling in the driveways. So we threw up a bunch of cameras. So then we had our first break-in. As you can see from the pictures, they knocked our window out, the side window, and was able to pop the screen, reach around, jimmy the door, get the door open. But as you can tell, they tried to pry it open first, it looks like, before they busted the window out. Went in the camper, completely ransacked it, went through everything. Same with the sheds. They ripped the door off, the locks off, completely went through the shed, cleaned everything out. Anything that had value down there, they got. So this video footage here, I've actually held on to for quite a while, since last year. As you're going to see, there's snow on the ground.
The unnerving chain of events began when strange vehicles started pulling into his driveway, pausing only briefly before vanishing. Once could be a mistake, twice a coincidence, but enough repetitions to eradicate any doubt that something was seriously off. Reacting with the practicality you'd expect, he blanketed the entire property with cameras, ensuring there wasn't a single blind spot left unwatched. Then, without warning, the perpetrator struck. A side window shattered violently, the screen was pried loose, and after a failed attempt to breach the door from outside, they cleverly reached through and manipulated the lock from the interior. Visibly shaken and more than a little angry, he later uploaded the footage online, hoping against hope that someone out there would identify the stranger, and that this digital breadcrumb might at last point toward some answers.
We're going to go ahead and roll this video here. I'm going to put it in slow motion here so we can talk about it. So as you can see, he's kind of creeping up here to the door. He kind of goes past the door and kind of looks, I'm assuming, to make sure there's no vehicles or anything on down the driveway. Goes up there, gives the old handle a pull. Obviously the door is locked. Then he goes over to where you can see the window I have taped to where it was broke out before. Starts peeling on that tape. That must have evidently took too long, because then next thing you know, he tries to actually pry the window open, which he does get it open enough to put his arm through there. And I have put the screen back in there at this time, so you can see there he actually pops that screen out of the way, reaches around there to the door handle, and he's able to get that door unlatched. Okay, so by now at this point here, we were smart enough not to leave really anything of any true value in the camper there. So the video, you can see him coming out. I'm going to slow-mo it as well. You can see he's running with something coming out the door, and that would actually be an old 10-year-old heater that we had in there, electric heater, that he helped himself to. And there he goes running back down the driveway.
Recorded clearly on the security cameras, a man approaches the front door with deliberate, measured movements. He first casts a cautious glance down the driveway, ensuring nobody is around, then tests the handle, finding it locked. Without missing a beat, he pivots to the same window that had been damaged previously. Carefully peeling back the covering, he forces the frame open just wide enough to slip his arm inside, nudges the screen aside, and reaches through to unlatch the door from within. Moments later, he steps out carrying an old electric heater and slips silently back down the driveway, disappearing from view. The unsettling episode, however, was far from finished. 2 weeks later, he returned, and this time, instead of merely taking something, he left a chilling calling card behind, transforming what had been a simple burglary into something far more sinister and profoundly disturbing.
All right, hey, we just got back down to the property. Pulled in the driveway here, it's all ice. Got the car stuck, that's gonna be fun, but come down here to do a few things. We'll talk about that here soon, but as you can see, our thief's been back. He pulled up the tape there, and I've already actually went in the camper, and look, he left something this time. Left his knife. So, as soon as I get out of here, I'm gonna go call the sheriff, see if he can come down. I really hope they're gonna fingerprint this knife, because that's all we need to catch this guy, and I believe I know who it is, and I believe he's already in the court system, and he should already have his fingerprints on file, so all they got to do is get a print from that. It'd be pretty simple to match up. So let's hope they go the extra mile for me and get that thing fingerprinted, and we can get this guy. So stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Stepping into the camper that day, the owner's entire body went rigid the instant his eyes landed on the object left behind. There, sitting in plain view as though deliberately positioned for discovery, was a knife, a chilling, unspoken message from the intruder. A sudden surge of hope flickered to life as he immediately called the sheriff's department, thinking that if they could lift even a single usable print from the blade, it might finally put a name and a face to the man who had been tormenting his property. But that fragile optimism quickly evaporated. A deputy eventually arrived, handled the knife with gloved hands, carefully bagged it, and promised to run the prints through the system. Yet every single call, follow-up, and message he made after that day dissolved into the same void of silence. Absolutely nothing. Some break-ins you can dismiss as purely random, the work of a passing opportunist hunting for an easy score. But this one carried a far more deliberate weight. The repeated returns, the unnerving patience, the knife brazenly displayed as a signature of menace, all of it pointed to something with genuine, calculated intent lurking beneath the surface. He ultimately chose to share his experience for a reason far deeper than simply warning others. He needed to leave a permanent record, a stark reminder of the quiet, creeping violation that doesn't always conclude with justice being served. The kind that burrows into your psyche and stays there long after the locks have been replaced and the cameras finally taken down. The YouTube channel 5050 Fishing, run by Joseph, is a haven of gentle fishing content, peaceful waters, and vast open skies, perfectly suited for moments when you want to slow down and breathe. Yet this upload tossed that calm aside completely. Joseph had decided to venture far beyond his comfort zone and attempt an overnight camping trip deep in the heart of the forest, a stark departure from his typical fare. He envisioned a quiet, restful night under a natural canopy of leaves, but reality delivered something entirely unexpected and unsettling. On August 8, 2023, he and a close friend drove out to a spot they had picked out, arriving ready to set up camp, completely unaware of the eerie experiences that were about to unfold.
This seems like this is way too big for a 3-man tent, but then it makes sense when you consider it pops open like an ice shanty. Set it on the ground. Oh, this is just like a dang shanty. And you just pop this, pop that. No, that's it.
The tent is up, bro.
Holy crap.
That's nice.
Bro, that's pretty fire. It's supposed to be 7x7. Don't really look like it. Boy, that's kind of slick. Look at that thing, man. It literally took 5 seconds. Yeah, that tent's kind of fire, though. I mean, it literally took, what takes the longest is doing the dang rain fly and stuff. And they really don't take long. Got a tent up in freaking 5 seconds, though.
The first hours of their outing passed in a genuinely pleasant way, filled with fishing, laughter, and the comforting hush of the surrounding trees. As darkness fully enveloped them, the atmosphere remained calm, even soothing. However, that particular brand of tranquility, the kind found deep in the woods, can often mask something far more unsettling, and on this particular night, it finally gave way.
All right, guys, well, I'm probably gonna head to bed. Probably gonna get up early, hit the lake again. Got my mattress pad, got the sleeping bag. This little tent's all right. This ain't bad at all. Not like crazy roomy, but it's pretty good. Could fit 2 people in here.
When Joseph finally allowed his eyelids to droop, he anticipated nothing more than a quiet drift into sleep. But the untamed wilderness surrounding him had entirely different, far more unsettling intentions lying in wait.
I just woke up. I heard something like a weird noise. What the hell is it? There's something else here. There's what the yeah, that sounds like a bear, like for real. Oh shit. I think it stopped, man. It like pushed my whole tent in right here. I'm about to go look. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I thought I heard it kind of run away. What the fuck? I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna sleep now.
In the dead of night, a jarring noise ripped through the darkness and yanked him violently from sleep. The unmistakable kind of sound that leaves absolutely no room for doubt. A massive bear was just outside the tent, pressing close enough to make the fabric bulge inward. Joseph lay frozen, every muscle locked, as he listened to the creature circle him with growls that grew heavier and more menacing with each circuit. Separating him from that powerful animal was nothing but a flimsy layer of nylon. Then, without any warning, the terrifying sounds began to recede. The deep growls faded into silence, the heavy footsteps retreated back into the trees, and just like that, the bear was gone. Refusing to gamble on whether it would return, Joseph scrambled to build a fire, gathered his essentials, and opted to spend the remainder of the night safely locked inside his truck.
Alright guys, well, got no idea where that thing went. I just started a big ass fire. Make sure he don't come back, hopefully. No idea. I think the tent's alright. I haven't seen anything on the tent. Man, I might sleep in the freaking... What was that? I just heard something. I might sleep in the damn truck tonight. Literally might be sleeping in the truck. I don't have any food out or nothing.
That's the raw truth about the wilderness. It offers no warning, no courteous heads up before everything shifts. One moment, you're stretched out in perfect tranquility, listening to the wind sigh softly through the branches, utterly at ease. The next, something massive enough to collapse your tent with ease is standing mere inches from your face, separated by nothing but fabric. Joseph walked away from that harrowing night physically unharmed. Yet the alternate version of events, the grim timeline that nearly played out where he didn't escape, is a chilling reality that refuses to be easily packed away and forgotten.